to fuck knows what's about to go on, because I want people to speak openly about what their beliefs are within the so-called truth movement. And the main topics are chemtrails, are one. 9/11's a biggie, and that's coming up around the corner. Legal issues, that's always popping up. And obviously I've got my own stance on that, and that winds enough people up. But with the people that we've got in the room, is there anyone here that initially or believes in chemtrails, like at this moment?
I'm proper on the fence with it, to be honest. Yeah, I know he's coming. I know that. I tell you what. Like, I did believe in them. I'm sitting on the fence with it. You know what I mean? But it was that fact that somebody said the other day somewhere that yeah, you didn't see as many when you was a kid, because when you was a kid there wasn't budget airlines, and then they gave the number of how many budget airlines there were to and then I thought, oh yeah. But one thing that's still, what I still think is that I don't see him every day. You know what I mean? How come I only see him on a day when they get, like, when it just canes them? Why is that? If like it seems like I get them in schedules. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not too sure, but it's something to do with the atmospheric pressure, or I'm not too sure on that.
I think they definitely exist, and they're not just vapour trails, but how they exist, why they exist, what they're about. There's definitely like an agenda to keep it hidden that there are chemtrails.
Right.
Because they denied it for years, and you could say for sure that that's not a vapour trail.
How?
Well, when these chemtrails sort of they form certain patterns, like you get horsetails and stuff like that coming off of them, and they spread out into a mist. When a vapour trail does that, it just kind of evaporates eventually, within like 10 minutes or something.
If it was a vapour and it's also got a slight touch of fuel or whatever, and dust, then like couldn't the wind to where it's frozen at a certain height carry it off into any pattern that nature may take it?
Aye, so if it's got stuff besides water vapour in it, you're saying that it's going to be different if it was just water vapour. And I'm saying if it's got stuff besides water vapour in it, then it's not a water vapour trail, it's a chemtrail.
So what's it got in it then? What do you think?
Well, I don't know what. I don't know what's in it. I just know that it's not just water vapour, as the officials have been trying to tell us, because there's more to it than that, and they are to some extent trying to hide it. Maybe the thing they're trying to hide is just the fact that there's tons of pollution in the air that they don't want us to complain about too much, but they are trying to hide it. It might not be as like malevolent as what a lot of people think, but do you know what I mean? There is something there, and they are trying to hide it.
What, you think they're purposely doing some kind of covert secret plan?
No, maybe no. Maybe it's just a kind of like a byproduct of the fact that when they're flying planes, there's pollution behind the planes, and when people are looking up and they're saying, "Look, there's a chemtrail," they're just saying, "No, it's not a chemtrail; it's a vapour trail." But it turns out to be just pollution, and maybe that's the only thing that they're hiding—the fact that their engines aren't as clean as what they're supposed to be.
On that note, let's say it is just a contrail for now. It's a persistent contrail, it's spreading out, forgot where I was going to go with that. Right, so if it's a persistent contrail and they're spreading out and they're affecting the atmosphere, they're affecting nature, they're affecting the planet globally, doesn't necessarily have to be something called chemtrails, does it?
I think like water vapour is not going to cause too much hassle.
you don't think that much, like, 'cause it does disperse, like, creates like a mist. You don't think that's going to affect the weather?
Not as much as if they're putting chemicals in there. I mean, they do. There's definitely like weather modification that's been practiced in the deserts in Iran for like decades. And if they're actually doing that over our heads, then that's what the worry is with chemtrails, if they're putting chemicals in the sprays,
What
on
do
the
you mean?
vapours.
What, so they're poisoning what? Everyone?
Well, if you put a thing like silicon fluoride, if you put silicon fluoride into a vapour trail, it'll cause the vapour trail to precipitate into rain.
Right.
Now, that's what they call cloud seeding. That's just a technology that they've developed for sort of like making it rain in desert regions.
Right.
It's kind of like speculated that perhaps that's what the chemtrails are for. Speculation, but there's definitely more than just vapour in those trails. Maybe it is just pollution, but there's more to it than just vapour.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that. Like, when people say chemtrails, I'm thinking of like the conspiracy theories that, like, you know what I mean, it's poisoning everything. I think I'll always, but you know what I mean. There's no way there ain't no pollution in that. Whatever it is coming out of it, there's no way that is just steam. Because if that were the case, then the planes should just run on water. If it was just steam and that, the planes would run on water. You know what I mean? There's got to be something they're putting out there. You know what I mean? It's still got to be. It's still got to be some sort of pollution, but it's obviously got to be on a bigger scale, isn't it? For something like a plane. If it, like, imagine an exhaust pipe. Do you know what I mean? Like, it ain't.
Have you heard of Morgellons?
Nah.
Anyone heard of Morgellons?
Aye, I have.
Go on, explain what you've heard.
Oh yeah, it's like a skin condition that's disputed. Well, people getting a certain skin condition, and it's reckoned that it's caused by certain particles in the atmosphere.
What? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the chemtrails are dropping like nanobots that are crawling in through people's skin and turning into weird like fibres.
Aye, well that sounds similar to the kind of stuff that I've heard. Aye.
Nah, right, no shit, Buffalo. This is how deep the conspiracy
Is it? Morgellons is dead, maybe.
I've never heard that.
I
know it's feasible, like, you know what I mean. So I've seen some mad shit, but I don't know about that. So what, is there anything to back this up or anything?
Suppose it isn't nanobots. Suppose it's just some sort of like, I don't know, like a chemical or something like that that's causing Morgellons. And nanobots is just making the whole thing seem bizarre.
It's a chemical.
The people with Morgellons, like the Morgellons isn't a medically recognised thing.
Yeah,
but the people with Morgellons reckon it could be caused by chemicals. Is it? Right. I heard that people weren't getting it recognised.
I'm sure if you go to Morgellons Wikipedia, you'll see that it has been classed as a delusional disease of the mind or something like that.
Yeah, but then if it was true, don't you see?
What do you mean? Like, true, right? Listen, I know someone that apparently had it, and do you know how they cured themselves of these weird nanobots crawling out of themselves?
Go ahead.
They just stopped thinking they had it.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah. Do you know what one of the symptoms are? This is brilliant, right? And it's right where they're scratching so much, they think they got these fucking nanobots and shit. That a bit of cotton or a bit of fibre will start growing out of them and acting like part you, part fibre, and they go and microscope it 3,000 times and it looks all alien, and they go, look what we found, an alien growing out of me. It's like, no, you're just fucking odd, and you.
Do you know what? There is sense to that, because like you get things like alopecia and all that are stress related. You know what I mean? So if someone's doing their nutting, thinking that they've got nanobots crawling around them, you know what I mean? They stress themselves out, and they're gonna get these like they're gonna get. Is there physical symptoms to it? The registered one that you see, the one that you was saying is. There's physical symptoms.
Like Dom's saying, it's like fibres coming out of people's body, and that to me is more than psychosomatic. I would say like that is something bizarre like that just can't be imagined into existence. It's maybe no chemtrails, but there might be some cause to it.
Well, is there evidence of these fibres coming out of them?
On the internet, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you only get coach where you getting it from, innit? Like,
and somebody could have just made that bollocks up and posted pictures there, like they photoshopped or something, you know.
See, this is the sort of thing I mean with this truth movement thing. I wish I didn't join the call now till after you just spoke about this.
Right, listen, right, I've got somebody, family member, like, that basically turned around and said that their brother basically had Morgellons. And I said, well, how did he get off it? And he goes, well, he just laid off the mess and stopped thinking he had it. And he was one of these people that was apparently like getting the 3,000 times fucking microscope and everything. And I said I want to interview him. And he goes, no, we really don't like talking about it ever again around him. Scary when you see somebody like scratching the fucking life out of them, thinking that they've got nanobots coming out of them. I suppose the mind is a very powerful tool.
Yeah, coach, man.
Yeah, but it makes you think, man.
There's a lot of
Is
things that are pretty truthful that have been put down to.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, man. But it makes you think that with all these people out there, I mean, is there some weird like conditioning going on, or are people consenting to this bullshit and consenting to spread it? I mean, I don't know if anyone's heard of this James Casbolt guy. This guy talks some completely crazy ass shit. He talks about how he's been bred in like a underground base and all this shit, and been brainwashed in how to believe in the lizard shit and how it's all bullshit and all this shit. And I'm saying to myself, has he legitimately been fucking brainwashed to go out and, you know, be like a fucking conspiracy theorist and recruit people, or, you know, to spread this bullshit? Or is he literally just fucking insane, man, like all these guys are? And both ways, what is it pointing? Both can't be true. What David Icke is saying, if he's selling out Wembley, cannot be true if he is selling out Wembley. What Alex Jones is saying, posted on his $1 million show and he's got millions of views and all that stuff, cannot be the truth, you know what I mean? And this is why all these truth, the reason I came on this show, so if I go at all the guys who were calling me and Dom and people like that, who were just two random guys on Facebook, shills and all that, who the hell do these guys think they are, Sherlock Holmes? When they get all that information from David Icke, who sells out Wembley talking about lizards, I mean, what the hell? Do you think shapeshifting lizards would come all the way from a different dimension to let a goalkeeper, you know, sell out Wembley and tell the world about the truth? I mean, we have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and it is absolutely pissing me off to see people having a go at legitimate people who are trying to spread all this bullshit, like people like fucking David Icke fucking puts out. I mean, there's layers of this bullshit, man. There's definitely people, social scientists, who want to distract from politics, man, because politics is what molds the fucking universe. It's what molds our bullshit, man. And it's all this lizard theory, all these aliens. It's putting people off all the people who are getting fucking headshot right now in fucking Syria. And this is the big thing, man. All these people on Facebook throwing the word shill around that can fucking kiss my ass, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I agree with that. I reckon stuff like that, what you've just said about the geezer from, like, in an underground base, that's just a complete waste of time, like, you know what I mean, to even watch that. But I know, you know what I mean, loads of people, like, like, you know what I mean, the thing with, what's his face, Russell Brand, like, there's loads of people saying, oh yeah, he's doing this and that. I don't know the full ins and outs of that. I don't even want to get into that, but what I'm saying is, like, he's blatantly leading people. So if he's opening up all them, like, middle class minds into like everything's an illusion, then they're going to go onto like things like YouTube, and they're going to see them dramatic things. They're going to spend ages watching all stuff like that, trying to discredit stuff like that. You know what I mean? When it's just a complete waste of time. When you see disinformation, you know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. There's a lot of disinformation that's fed out. You know what I mean?
Right. Does anybody in here believe in like Russell Brand being a good thing?
I did at first.
Yeah, totally, man. I fucking do, man. I'll tell you why, man. Listen, I will tell you that Russell Brand is fucking talking shit. I'll tell you that he believes in lizards and fucking moon is the hologram and all this bullshit. But at the end of the motherfucking day, he's spreading mild awareness about fucking obvious shit, which is obvious that the world is fucking shit. Yeah. So at the end of the day, he gets a majority here, and he takes fucking people to educate him. At the end of the day, if he starts going on the street calling for revolutions and saying don't vote and all this shit like he has been legitimately doing, I mean, the only thing I have to fucking give with, have a, you know, how can I say, a bit of conflict with Russell Brand is that he has created these people. Everyone who's against Nigel Farage and all this stuff in UKIP, right, are the same people who were saying don't vote. They go, don't vote, and now people like, you know, UKIP and all that get power. They're the ones who were saying unfriend me if you voted UKIP and all that. It's because people didn't vote UKIP, and it's just like, you fucking retards. I mean, it's just so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. Russell Brand got to Jeremy Paxman live on BBC News, and when Jeremy Paxman said to him, do you have a plan to deal with this revolution? He said no. He said, what, do you expect me to just draw a plan to control this revolution, to help everyone out? And at the end of the day, my gripe is, if you're on that stage and you're calling up for people to have a revolution, you should at least have some form of solution to back it all up. And this is what I'm saying. No. That's my only gripe with him. But I do think that, I don't think he's got a sinister edge.
My problem is how he is.
I can't hear you, Dub, man. Can't hear you, Dub.
My problem is how he's connected to the Goldsmiths and Jemima Khan, direct link, and these are the families that control the world, or they create.
Some of the families that control the world.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling a banger. I'm just going to mute it.
So what Ben? Do you think it's a good thing that like the banking families that manipulate every story that's out there seem to be? To me, I think he's just there to manipulate the protest and call for a revolution because they need people to mass protest and actually bring in the new orders.
Well, this is what I'm saying, man. We have to, first of all, define this so-called new orders, man. I mean, for new orders suggests one world government, okay? And for a one world government, you're saying that all the world's conflicts have to suddenly become mates with each other. So that means Islam, Christianity, Judaism, gay Judaism, I don't know why I said that, Judaism, forgive me. All of them have to become agreement together, thus to have a one world, government that could all be, cohesively, correct amongst peers and all that. Now, if you're saying that, man, I mean, if Russell Brand is there for a revolution that's going to revolt that, I mean, what else can the new world order be, man? It can't be microchips and all this stuff. It doesn't make sense when you look at politics now, man. This is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying
it's completely out of context.
They do it little bit by little bit, like Occupy protests. They ended up like getting into the High Court. The High Court changes the law. So it's done little bit by little bit. They don't like say, right, because one mass action, we're going to have martial law on you. That's not going to happen. They do it bit by bit by bit by bit by bit until people go, oh, I didn't see that coming. People are too comfortable.
But I mean, we would obviously see it coming if Russell Brand is going out preaching about revolutions and all. I mean, basically, he's done quite some significant stuff. He's gone out doing all this protesting, and we know, you've done some great research in how a lot of them are all rigged. So, we're just assuming, the same with Russell Brand and all that stuff. I've got no problem with that. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, yeah.
Look, he's marrying Jemima Khan, who was originally a goldsmith, and her brother is goldsmith, and directly connected to the Rothschilds. These
Yeah, but go on. Sorry, carry on, brother.
Suppose I was a celebrity, right, and I wanted to. This is a terrible echo. Have you got speakers playing into your mic, Ben?
Cheers, man.
Suppose I was a celebrity and I wanted to make myself look like the biggest expert, not in Revolution, but on playing Minecraft or something like that. I would just go and find out people that do play Minecraft and then just repeat the bullshit that they're hitting it with. And because I'm a celebrity, well connected, suddenly I would look like the leader of the Minecraft revolution. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think Russell Brand's game is. He's just a celebrity that's there to lead people in the way that the establishment want people led.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I think I agree completely, man. You could say that, but I would say a lot of these conspiracy theories, really, take the piss out of and say that humanity is really stupid. I mean, do you really think that? Like, just because Russell Brand goes, everyone, the world is bad, look how bad things are, and there's a government against you and revolt and all that. Do you think everyone is just going to, okay, let's accept this one world government that's going to put microchips on us? I just think it's just like, I just think it's completely out of proportion. Like you said, even if they're doing it little by little, it's just like, well, if they do it little by little, when are they going to do it? Like 10,000 years in the future? Or is it going to be 10 years in the future?
They'll not actually do it until people are actually saying, look, we need microchips inside us. But right now, we can't do without our mobile phones. And that is practically a microchip outside us. Eventually, these guys will want to have so much power over us that they'll have us saying, oh, please, government, please put microchips inside us. These guys don't work in plans that, maybe in 5 years' time you want to be in a particular position. These saying in 100 years' time or something like that, we want our social clique to be in a particular position. It's all gone quiet at my end.
I'm just listening to you, Steve, man. I'll tell you what, the other fella, what's your name, mate?
Ben.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, Ben. Sorry, man.
Oh, Ben. Yeah, what's happening anyway? You see what you said. I think what you're trying to say is that there might be an agenda behind Russell, but during the process, he's still waking up a shitload of people. Is that basically what you're saying?
Exactly, bro. At the end of the day, if he really got to a point, I believe that if he was really doing anything dodgy, that people like fucking us, obviously, who were talking about it now before he's ever really done anything significant. What I'm saying is, if he ever got to that stage, I believe in the competence of the mental capacity of humanity to be like, fucking hell, we're not doing anything that is completely ridiculous. I mean, like, what I'm trying to say? I mean, even people else, if it really came, I would just do a YouTube video just calling him motherfucking out. You know what I'm trying to say at the end of the motherfucking day? I don't think you can. I mean, like Tupac Shakur said, man. Tupac motherfucking Shakur said, all these conspiracy theories of Illuminati, man, they just disempower you. They make you scared because you're like, shit, man, there's someone out there. There's always someone out there who's got the ball and the game and the anticipating everything. And it just disempowers you, man. It fucking does. And it disempowers society. In my opinion, man, the only conspiracy theory that is proved factually is the conspiracy to sell weapons to exaggerated areas of conflict, man. The military-industrial complex, man. That is the most big boom business on earth. That is $3 trillion a year, man. That's gangsters, man. That's gangster shit, man. That's the real shit.
A conspiracy to me means people who come together for an evil purpose and they do it in secret. And the whole National Secrets Act or National Security Act or whatever your local human livestock management farm calls it, governments are basically doing things in secret for an evil purpose against not just foreign powers but their own domestic populations.
Well, I wouldn't know, man. I would say that basically.
It's all gone quiet again.
I would basically say, man, that you're right. I think that there is some shit where people like selling weapons, man, and they like making a lot of money, and they like putting this money in offshore banks where they don't have to pay tax, man, and they like keeping this money for themselves. And if you were, say, for example, predisposed just by, the fucking culture as it is, the randomness of life, man, if me and you basically were born as, you know, a billionaire or something that had, you know, influence in the stock market and military industrial complex, we could put our money in anything, man. We got billions of dollars at birth and all that. Maybe one of us might be smart enough to be like, shall we employ a conspiracy theorist to chat shit and put people off finding this shit? That's what I believe is more plausible. I mean, you think of all this stuff at David Icke, what he's saying about, you know, basically using an ancient culture of Sumeria, which is not the first culture to ever be civilized, and it's certainly not, you know, the earliest one. There was one out of Helsinki that came just after the Ice Age that formulated the first language, man. I mean, a lot of people don't even research. So what I'm saying is he's just picked this thing that takes 20,000 years ago, so people think, wow, before ancient Egypt, holy shizzle. And basically because it's got a couple of theological arguments because of the Book of Genesis originated from they try and connect all the world's, you know, culture and try and set up a bloodline, and then he goes, it's lizards, basically. And people believe that shit, but it is just fucking, a social scientist would have probably created that shit just to block people off the paper trail of money. I mean, this is the real-time shit. I mean, this is the gangster business, man. I mean, unfortunately, the people who run Israel are the people who have been running the fucking drugs in New York since the 1930s, man. It's all historically, you know, accurate, all this shit. It's all to do with the gangsters, man, and it's all humanity, man. It's all money. Money is the fucking the cause of everything, man, and that's all I would say. And I say it's a modern issue. I mean, it's the incompetence of the politicians, man, that leads to the assumptions of all these conspiracy theories.
Well, what do you mean by money?
Money, man, definitely. I mean, $3 trillion was made last year in the sale of weapons to exaggerated areas.
What I'm asking is, what is your definition of money?
Well, I'm talking about, you know, currency, obviously.
They create currency.
Yeah, totally, man. I wouldn't argue with that. Yeah, totally.
They if you're talking like so many billions of pounds for drugs or guns or whatever, it's like they can just create that out of thin air, print it in their royal mints and their federal reserves.
Oh yeah, totally, man. But I mean, if you obviously, I mean, if they were to do that every single day like they have been doing, I mean, that's why the economy basically in the short is completely foot, basically, because of the fact that we're printing money that we can't compensate with because of gold. So to do this every day, that's why that is the motive for the military-industrial complex. There you go, man. You just said it yourself. The very fact that we can't sustain our own gold or the money, therefore we need to create a demand for this money, i.e. in the trade of weapons, man. I mean, basically, if me and you had £100 now, we could basically invest it on the stock market for land mountains to Somalia. And then we could invest the money we got back of that in a hospital so that we get double profit for when they go in the hospital. And then we could invest it in, you know, if you're an insurance, you know, fucking management or company, you can invest in insuring the hospital. Then when it gets blown to fuck up, we all make motherfucking money. This is, I think, what is at the core of motherfucking, you know, society. And I think people who are clever enough to keep this to themselves would be clever enough to hire people, you know, or pay them a figure to chat shit, man, to cover it all up. That's what I believe.
My definition of money is that it's basically labour stored in the form of something that the government controls. Not necessarily, maybe it's the gold. It's when people catch fish and they basically trade it for gold, or they chop down trees and they trade it for gold, or they trade it for paper, or they trade it for whatever. What they're actually trading is work crystallised in the form of wealth that we call money. That's very easy to transfer, that saves me. I suppose I want a bag of oranges, and all I can do is chop down trees. So I chop down a tree and I trade the tree for a fish, then I trade the fish for the oranges. If everybody's willing to accept money, then it's easy for me just to trade a tree for a bag of oranges, rather than have to go through several intermediaries like people that sell fish and people that sell cheeseburgers, etc. Because everybody will accept the paper or the gold or whatever. But labour crystallised in the form of.
But that's where that's from what I've you know what I mean, come across on that. That's how it started, wasn't it? Like, stop me, like, if I'm wrong here, stop me, yeah. But the way I see it, it's like back in the day, you had, just say you had one geezer, he was storing all the gold. And then people were coming in and out, getting their bits of gold. Then eventually, it streamed into a process of him just giving people IOUs, and then which them IOUs got spread out, but then people traded the IOUs, which in time became money. Is that right?
Right. That's the people that were supposed to keep gold in their safes, didn't they?
Yeah. Right, so I forgot the fucking point I was going to make now, man. Go on, carry on. Sorry, man.
I think you're just clarifying how the fiat currency came about.
Originally,
you people used to use gold.
Forgive my you know what I mean. I'm not all fucking. I ain't got a lot of knowledge in all this. You know what I mean. But I'm going to ask questions. You know what I mean.
People used to use gold because the king basically controlled all the gold mines, which is the same as the king controlling all the fiat currency production. The royal mint is basically the same as a gold mine, except the money can be made for virtually free by the king or the government, or whoever the boss is, you know. But originally it was gold held in vaults, and they started giving out like receipts for the gold, and then eventually they started giving out more receipts than they actually had gold for. And then when people came to like get their gold back, the gold wasn't in the safes to actually claim it. And that's how fiat currency was legalised to prevent the economy from collapsing.
And that's where the thing, the run on the banks comes from, isn't it? If everybody went to the bank at once to get their money out, the banks would be fucked, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Go and explain it. Go on, please. You know what I mean? The monetary system, it gets my head in knots. You know what I mean? I give up looking into it because it gets so fucking, you know what I mean, complicated for me. I just think, fuck this, it ain't worth my time. You know what I mean? But I'd like the monetary system. You're saying that I want to understand properly. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, hi. My name is Oscar. I'm a truck driver. Listen. There's a wicked YouTube video called Money as a Debt.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen. There's 3 parts. I've seen part 1 today.
Exactly. Right. Well, this geezer explains it perfectly well. Yeah. In a nutshell, the problem is the actual debt. Okay, called interest. Okay, so if I lend you a tenner, and it's the only tenner in the world, and I ask for 10% of it, you cannot give me 11 because there's no 11 period, and that's basically what happens. Okay, I mean we're talking about in a simplistic way, but you can talk in a bank sense or shares or anything that is related to money in the stock market is fictitious, 100% fictitious. They're trading, they're gambling numbers. They're not gambling fiat currency. They're not seeing the notes. Yeah.
Can I just ask? Have you seen all 3 parts of that? That money is.
Yeah.
You see, the thing I get stuck on it with is like a fellow who told me to watch them. He said you have to watch them until you completely understand it. And I watched part 1. It was ages ago. That's why I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not too sharp on it. And then I got into I started watching part 2. And that's when it started getting. I couldn't grasp it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't complicate it per se, but it shows you the actual technicality behind it. You don't actually need the second or the third. You just need to know the first one, which is how the money is made, how it's created. Okay, you sell a house, that money does not exist. The bank puts fucking zeros on the fucking computer, and that money is no, not the money. The number does not exist. If you compare it to money, yeah, it doesn't exist. That's why we got inflation. That's why we got all these ups and downs. Yeah. Anything you sell, to actually make it equal, the Bank of England has to make exactly the same amount of print money, the same amount of the value of what is being purchased. Because otherwise it doesn't exist. Imagine if you sell the house 10 times. Okay, where is that money? Yeah, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, yeah, 500,000. Where the fuck is the money? The money is not there. You're just playing with numbers, and the number in the computer, it builds up. That's basically what it is in a nutshell. I mean, it can be more complicated, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, cool. I'm just looking for it now. Yeah, I've got this. what do you think of this then? Yeah, like I've got it somewhere. I'll have to upload it later, but I've got a newspaper report from the Guardian, and it's printed out, and it's the newspaper report. This is in mainstream media, yeah. So the newspaper report is telling the story about the fraud that the Bank of England have told the Guardian newspaper. So I can't remember the exact wording to it, but I know it was the Bank of England were telling the Guardian paper. So they obviously wanted people to know about this fraudulent banking system, and they was talking in this thing. They're talking about promissory notes and there being IOUs and you know what I mean, all this stuff. So I showed my dad this newspaper thing. I said, like, you know what I mean. I went up to him because I'm trying to explain the monetary system to him, but I just can't put it into. Obviously, well, I don't understand it. I can't explain it. But the basic principle was that it's all based on fraud. You know what I mean? But like I've just stuck by the basic theory in my head that if I went into a bank and I say I want £5 worth of, I want to change this £5 note into £5 worth of gold, they can't do it. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was down in London. A couple of my mates were on top of they were doing new Fathers for Justice. Like they was up there on the top of the things, doing their thing, the superheroes. And as we was going about, I said it to someone, and he said, yeah, but you can go to the Bank of England, and they'll give you, they will do that. They exchange it for gold. And you know what I mean? I thought, oh fuck. But I knew it was still fucking, you know what I mean, based on fraud or whatever. But because obviously after that, I thought, oh yeah, but then still, what if there's a run on the banks? If everyone still goes to the banks and want their shit. But when I showed my dad this newspaper report, you know what I mean, his face went white because you know what I mean, and nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean, nothing happened. That was in mainstream news. They're telling everyone, you know what I mean, that the money's not right. So what's that then?
Well, that could be many elite. When you find out about something that is really, really drastic and damning to the power, one of the tactics of the power is actually not doing anything and try to actually water it down.
It's all gone quiet, man.
Yeah, I can't hear nothing.
Right.
Yeah, I can't hear nothing.
That gold standards get dropped in 1925.
Yeah, Simon, you were just getting really interesting, bro, and then you cut off, mate.
Gold standards get dropped in 1925. 1925, you could have walked into your bank and says, give me my gold.
But you know what? That standard gold, that's a little bit irrelevant. Let me give you an example. Let's say the gold standard that one pound is equal £1 of gold. I know it's stupid, but follow what I'm saying. When we don't have enough money, what they're gonna say is, okay, let's make the gold richer, and they're gonna say, okay, well, really, it's not one. The value is not the 1 kilogram. It's half a kilogram, but it's actually the worth. And the unit is going down. What do you think is gram? Right. Afterwards, they're gonna make it microgram. I don't know, like a molecular level type of thing. I know I'm being a little bit silly here, but they always shorter the quality of the product. And at the end of the day as well, gold, you're not gonna eat it. I mean, if I got a farm and I've got the products and the money is fucked up, I'm not gonna accept your gold. I'm not gonna do nothing with your gold. That's only a beauty resource. Right, I would not use it as a commodity to exchange. I prefer the barter type of thing. Yeah, I give you a banana, you give me an apple type of situation.
But suppose you want apples and you've only got bananas, right? And I've only got oranges. Do you know what I mean? I want oranges and I've got apples. You've got bananas and you want my apples, but you can only get my apples if you can provide me with oranges. Instead of me accepting gold or currency or whatever, you have to go and find somebody with oranges in order to get my apples. The barter system means that you have to go through several trades to get the thing that you want.
Granted, but we're talking about one-to-one thing. Yeah.
I think like having a currency is better than having no currency because it really streamlines trade. Because everybody's got a commodity that they want.
Yes, in a financial system. Yes, sorry, not in a financial system. In a monetary system, I agree with you. But I think that the world can actually function pretty well without the monetary system. And that's been proven.
Well, of course, because like, it was the Lydians that invented money in the first place. There wasn't any currency until the Lydians invented it, and people lived for a long time before the Lydians came along.
Right.
But I think what the idea of having this like commodity called gold or silver or fiat currency, just the idea that this is something that everybody is willing to accept in exchange for whatever, that just streamlines trade so much that it's just such a big advantage. It's like mobile phones, we could live without mobile phones, but the world's so much better that we've got them, you know.
Has anybody heard of the resource-based economy?
It's a barter system, isn't it?
No. It's a new system that a social engineer developed. He made a project called the Venus Project down in Florida. Yeah, and the idea of the geezer is to live. How can I put it? In the best possible way inside the technology. I let technology work for us. For example, there's companies in industrial complex that make things on its own, totally automated. Yeah, cars, you name it, whatever. They can do now 3D printing houses. Yeah, and I'll show you the link. Give me a second. His name is Jack Fresco.
Bang on.
Search that guy on YouTube. Yeah, for videos. Yeah, he's got videos for 2 minutes or for 2 hours. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's got different ones, and he explains how the social system should work. And this is for equality for everybody in equal standard. There's no money. There's you know what I mean. You can imagine it as like a Star Trek ship on planet Earth type of thing, without going too fucking high tech on it. Yeah, everything is for free, so there's no need to steal because you can get the stuff. Yeah, because remember the people in the top are using scarcity as a tactic. Yeah, they hold back on things. But, you know, some companies pay farmers not to plant a particular product, not to plant it, not to actually plant it, to not plant it.
The law, smoke the draw. Come on, bastard, say something. Come on, you. John, can you just confirm that we're in? Are we here?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we are.
Oh yes. I can see two gentlemen there.
Chris, we're here. Just give you a bit of a wave over on the one side. Yeah, you were discussing time, money.
Yes.
Relativity. Yeah. The thing about money is it's all make believe. There's no go to the Bank of England with a £5 note. On your £5 note it says, "I promise to pay the bearer upon demand." Go to the Bank of England and say, "I've come for my £5," and see what they do.
That's because of the Gold Standard Act of 1925, where the Bank of England doesn't have to trade your receipt for gold for the real gold.
What do they do when you ring up the Bank of England and you ask that?
Well, I don't know, but I've been planning on.
I mean, if you go to the Bank of England with a £5 note, what do you want in exchange?
Fictional thing is money.
Well, if you just said to them something along the lines of, "Can I exchange this for another tangible commodity?" So just something simple like that. If you do ring them up, you've got to record it.
Yeah, but it says, I promise to pay the bearer upon demand the sum of £5. But if you go in with a £5 note and say, I've come for my £5, they'll give you a £5 note. Surely.
Yeah, but what do you want in return?
They should be.
What other currency do you want? What other type of commodity?
They should be giving you £5 in weight of sterling silver. That is what it was originally. It was worth.
That's true.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Another Scotsman.
That sounds about right.
You should be giving you a weight in silver. You've got it more or less bang right, but
Would you carry £5 of silver?
well,
I would expect it to have a proper exchange.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what money was in the good old days. Times have changed, unfortunately. Where
I'd rather a £5 note any day.
Right.
I just want to say that. Security coming and grab you up. All right, mate, I'm only asking.
I'm clapping because I'm saying it's good to speak to you all together. Really good. Really good.
But a lot. If I'm sitting here with like £5 of sterling silver in weight, £5 weight, and I'm sitting there with a £5 note, you would rather have the £5 note?
Well, yeah, what's the sterling silver look like? Obviously, I'd rather have the note because it's in the sense that it's more, like you say, it's more convenient to transport, isn't it? You know, what I mean? If you go into a shop with a load of silver and say, "Can I have 20 Mayfair?"
Aye, but
mate, they're just going to say,
well, listen to this. Listen to this. £5 of sterling silver, £5 weight in sterling silver, will trade for about £1,000, about £1,000 it's worth.
No, why?
Because they disattached the gold standard act, like sort of like split the basically see the loss in value of that £1,000 or the £995 in value that it's lost since 1925. That's the government's inflation that's done that.
Well, I understand that, but if you give £5 and they give you £5 back, it will be equal to £5 either way.
£30.
£5 are like nothing.
Yeah, £5 are nothing. It's worth £5 are nothing.
Correct. It equates. It makes it 0. 5 and 5 and put it together. It's gonna say, why are you wasting my time? You want £5 or 5 units? Let's put it 5 units. You want 5? Okay, 5 units of this. You're gonna trade it somewhere else? He says, okay, I'm gonna have your 5 units or something. Yeah.
Say a £5 is worth an hour's work, whether it's an hour's work catching fish or an hour's work chopping down trees or an hour's work harvesting bananas or something like that, because that's genuinely the value of silver, gold or fiat paper. But if somebody's taking my work and they're devaluing it by printing paper that's not worth anything at all, that's where the real problem comes in.
The only thing we as any value is that not true?
I just heard part of that, then it went silent, and then you said, "Is that not true?"
I said of any value.
Right, hang on. If other people are talking, can you mute your mics?
This is a debate. Yeah.
I'm just saying, the only thing we have of tangible value is our labour. If we withdraw that, they have no power over us.
True. But without labour, we can make our own products.
But who are you making products for?
No. I'm talking about the public sector. I'm talking about the actual productivity of the country. Yeah. The food, for example.
Right. Yeah.
And not just that. It's your labour. You're going to be getting paid in money.
McDonald's.
If you're getting paid like back when I was about 20 years old, you could quite easily go out and get cash in hand work. And cash in hand work is not about so easily nowadays. So,
Very
you know,
difficult.
yeah, it's difficult to remove your labour from their system and
Right.
still feed yourself and your family.
Yeah.
Cash in hand work is ridiculous to get now. It's ridiculously hard to get cash in hand work.
People want to follow all the rules and regulations. People are blinded by the system.
Due to fear.
It's not that hard to get cash in hand work. It's just that cash in hand work now is virtually valueless. You might get 20 quid a day.
Not worth a cow cup of piss.
Well, on that note, we've got quite a few new people entered the room. If anybody wants to say something now or add a new topic or whatever, please feel free to plug in what you need.
Hi, my name's Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Yeah, basically, I've been looking at the whole law side of the whole government thing, and I hear a lot about the birth certificate, and everybody goes on about the birth certificate, but
Yeah.
as far as I've worked out and everything I've read up, what I've seen is the whole consent form of it. They have to have new consent every time the new person comes into power. So what I've been researching and looking up basically is that we believe that the consent is actually given to the election enrollment form. Because it's the only form that I can find that says that, it can be used for law enforcement, which I presume is statute enacts. So I've been around. I've asked MPs, I've asked an SMP, I've asked the people at the election enrollment, and they all say the same thing. And that is how you get consent. They try and, sneakily block it out or, try and mislead me, but I'm not stupid. I know what they say. I was just wondering, am I correct in that?
Right. Are you correct in what?
Basically, the election enrollment register. That is how they gain your consent, by being on that register.
Well, I don't know, because you can argue the point that...
Break his heart, Dom.
Well, no, right, if you're not registered, right, then it does make it a million times more simple. Because if you've not registered your child, you've not had a midwife, you've not had no interaction with
Therefore, it's
the
not
system.
registered.
Pardon? If you're not registered or the child, for example, because that's essentially how they do get you as a product to the system.
Yeah, but, I mean, from what I've always known, once you turn, you know how you guys say about the birth certificate, and the parents sign the birth certificate to make this person. But I thought that would be dissolved after the child hit 18, because then he has his own lawful rights and legal rights. He can speak for himself. He's old enough and knowledgeable enough to do so, so he has to make new contracts. And that's what I believe the election enrollment register and consensus form's all about. And threaten you for.
No, I believe signing any form that like you're agreeing that you're part of that system and showing life and everything to it.
I know.
It's every single one. So at the age of 18, if they're not ever had their fingerprints taken and they don't ever consent to be in the name, then like it does make like the police's job a lot harder. For example.
I know. I've realised that when they keep on trying to enforce their bullshit on me, and I tell them to go piss off. And I've been in cuffs, but they released me. I refused to give them everything. I mean, I'll go to the MPs. I won't even tell the MP my name because of it. And we still have conversations. One threw me out and refused point blank to answer any more of my questions with my brother here. I've got all this on recording. Obviously, I must record everything. and they all keep saying the same thing, that the way they do it, so the government that comes into power has the authority to do so with the consent of the government. They keep telling me that, which means that they are taking consent via force. And that's criminal.
Yeah.
So why don't people just start ringing the police?
Because they won't do nothing about it.
Well, if enough people ring, they have no choice. It's their policy. If people phone in for the same crime, they have to investigate. Well, that's what I've been told.
That's also what it says in the books, like. But I think.
Is that Buffalo?
Yeah, who's that?
It's Nick.
Who?
No name.
What's happening, mate?
Yeah, mate, all good.
Yeah, I think you know what I mean. What you're saying there, yeah, he says all that in the books, but the whole thing, it's not like I think I'm not disagreeing there. If you're not put into the system, then obviously, yeah, it's going to be harder for them to find you. You know what I mean, etc. But even once you're in that system, it's, you know what I mean. That's it now. It don't matter. It ain't lawful. No, you're right. It ain't lawful, but they've got a lot more to lose than you. You know what I mean?
I do fully understand that.
Yeah,
That's why I'm dealing with MPs rather than the police. Like, I'm away to hand in a letter of notice, or I'm still researching on all the terminology and stuff. But I'm about to hand in a letter stating that the MP will be liable, then he starts so she'll take the fall, and then see what she does, because that's making them have something very good to use.
Well, Russ, I'm guessing that you've been looking around like a lot of these lawful rebellion, Magna Carta type groups, and how to serve notices.
Yeah.
But what have you ever seen that is a success?
Aliens.
I've seen a lot. Like there's a few. Like well, I used part of the stuff on the job centre once because I actually have a pretty severe disability, and I used it in the job centre. I scared them to the point of they're not messing with me anymore. The Atmos is not touching me. They're not causing me any problems from this moment on because I've used this stuff. I threatened them with going to the police. They called the police on me. I turned the police back on them. There's a video on YouTube about it.
I think when it comes to what's being said, I think you should take a look at Daniel Bostock's videos on YouTube, who has successfully beaten off many party tickets.
Councils.
Yeah, there's loads of like I think with all this thing, like I say, when they've got a lot more to lose, I think with all like I'm not knocking Daniel at all. Like, you know what I mean? I've spoken to him and I love his videos, man. You know what I mean? They fucking crack me up. But stuff like little stuff like that, it's just like parking tickets and things like that. You can it's a lot more. They're not going to. I don't know. I've not really chased a parking ticket up. You know what I mean? But I'm saying
parking tickets are easy, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Like I've not really. Personally, I've not had a lot of experience with them.
Parking tickets are easy, but getting busted with weed ain't.
Yeah. That's it. That's my point.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but you see, like I'm willing to put myself in that situation. I'm going to hand in this notice.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Chicken from General Food.
I got off of a cannabis charge.
How?
The law don't care about the weed. They don't care. That's going to be legalised within a year or two because they want the tax rate.
Okay, that's great. But look now.
Well, that's basically my plan is to somehow get this into a court.
How did you get off of your charge, mate?
Basically, the copper went into pocket on my jacket and pulled out a bag of weed, and he said, "What's this?" And I said, "Are you asking me if that's mine?" And he said, yeah, and I said, can I have it? And he went, no. And I said, well, possession is 9/10 the law. I suggest it's yours.
You're a fucking killer, Dom, man. You are a killer.
Yeah. You've done us up like a mock pickle. Never let it.
They didn't want to bring it up in court.
What?
It was really odd. They still wanted me up in court on a bogus charge of...
Why? What did you say it was again? I missed what you said it was.
a bag of weed. It was only a 20 bag. It weren't like a grow up or nothing like that.
Just enough to get you high.
Yeah.
That'll do.
But tell him what you done, Dom.
If you
Basically, the copper pulled it out of my pocket and said, "What is this?" And I said, "Are you
It wasn't
asking?"
like a big bag of leaf or nothing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So he's basically said, "What's this?" And I've said,
What?
Are you asking?
He said
if it's
what?
mine? What is this?
you know, dope is like night.
I was in 2008. I travelled down to London. And,
Are you
when I got to
asking me if
Victoria
it's
State,
mine?
sniffer dogs there, and I got sniffed and searched, etc. Found a few bag of caution.
Fucking signal's so shit, I can't hear nothing.
No, it's not that. It's that somebody put some sort of a audio device and it triggered the mic, and it's two people talking. That's what happened.
Confuse them. Sorry.
Apparently, this is like back in the day of like CB radio. Right, look, Dave, have you got anything to say? Because like the room's getting full up and other people want to get in. Is there anyone that wants to say anything before they drop out? Look at you all, don't itch.
Thanks for listening, you guys. I'll shut off. To be honest, I'm knackered. I'll catch you guys. Good speaking to you all.
Anytime. And put your thing on mute as well if you're not talking. It helps. Right, where are we?
Can you finish? Can you finish what you were saying about the intervention with the police? He searched your belongings in your body, and he took out a bag of something. And then what?
Yeah,
happened?
I was getting arrested anyway, and he said, "What is this?" And I said, "Are you asking me if it's mine?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, can I have it?" And went to grab it, and he pulled his hand away and went, "No." And I said, "Well, I suggest it may be yours, if possession is 9/10 the law."
What's the lead? John?
Like you said, they wouldn't bring it up in court.
No, but I was up on a bogus charge anyway, where an ex-policeman was getting me done for assault when he strangled me.
What a cunt he was.
And what happened? So tell that story, Dom.
What
the assault? You getting accused of strangling? Oh, you getting strangled or whatnot?
Well, what happened was, sitting there at Occupy outside St Paul's, and some guy in a business suit walked across, started throwing a load of abuse at everyone, walked across the camp, and then this ex-copper, acting as a protester, has gone over, clouted the guy up the side of the head, started throwing him about and everything. So I've ended up running over, splitting him up, and the guys ended up like grabbing hold of me, twisting my scarf with his fist in the middle, so it tightened up at the side. And within 5 seconds, I've like blacked out, and he's let go of me. I've like, you know when you, right, I don't know how many people in the room here have ever thrown a whitey, but when you throw a whitey and you're uncontrollable and it's like the shakes, I had that and I've hit the floor and I've like just shook and then my head went smash off the floor. I started cleaning my eye up and the coppers came over and started saying like, right, do you want to do anything about it? And I was like, well, I know at the time I was like, look, because there's only one winner when you go to court, and that's the Crown. They're like a fruit machine, essentially.
Right.
Now, I was like, well,
Is this the ex-copper that you exposed in one of your videos? Outside Downing Street, I think it was.
yeah, same bloke. But I was basically saying to the police, look, how long have I got to decide whether I've got to press charges? And he said, well, that's got to be right now. And I said, why is that then? That's not like proper procedure. And he said, well, he might be pressing charges against you. And I was like, okay. And I went to walk away, and the copper went to stop me. And I was like, right, hang on, am I being detained? He goes, well, just wait there a minute. And I said, am I being detained right now? And he said, no, not right this moment. We'll take you. He walked away and went and sat on the steps. And then, like, basically, a copper came up with this Mark Edwards, the guy that strangled me. And the copper said, look, do you want to shake him by the hand and forget it all happened? I went, yeah, all right. So I shook him by the hand, and about 10 minutes later, somebody said, because at the time I used to wear this top hat, and they said that my top hat was underneath this tarp. Went to go and get it, and Mark Edwards was there, and he started screaming more abuse at me. I walked away from the situation again, and basically he made the claim that I assaulted him then, and that's when the police asked to have a word with me and took me off and found a bag of weed in the pocket in a jacket that happened to be on my shoulders, however you want to look at it.
So you don't like the place?
I don't like the police. No, it's not about that. It's about what they were originally there for were to protect people. And I think you'll find that most police probably do join because they want to do some good in the world and protect people. Surely, that's why you want to go down that line of work. I think the programming really fucks them up.
Get this straight.
No, sorry. No. You're quite right. I mean, we need you guys, and we do. We do need to be based. Blinks, and they're not following.
I just think no, they're not following the rules because it's a cash cow now. Like years ago, yeah, what they was you don't know, do you? But like what the story is, what they're promoting for, and what the books say is that they was there to protect people and whatnot. But like I'm just gonna go and make a cup of tea, and I'm gonna call back in a second, Joe. But like what I want to say on this is that from what I know, and I know more people who like have been robbed and they've got their property back by word of mouth. I know a majority of people I know who have been robbed for like property or whatever, they've got their property back by word of mouth. The police have never restored anyone's property back. I don't. Obviously that can't be like true throughout the fucking country, but from what I know, from my experience, I don't know anybody who's ever got their stuff returned by the police. Or if they have got it returned, there's always been like a charge or something on it. You know what I mean?
Can anyone hear me?
Yep. I actually got a phone pinched months ago, and what they've done is they swapped it for a dummy model. And so I didn't realise straight away. So obviously when I informed the police, they took the dummy model of the phone away and a couple of books that the person who pinched had touched. And then they They sent me a letter saying that you can come and pick your mobile phone and books up. I thought about going down and going, this isn't a mobile phone. Seeing if I could blag a free mobile out of them, but I thought better of it.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Rob?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I've just joined the chat. What's the topics tonight?
Fire away.
We're just discussing.
Some of you have really appreciated it, Dom. You're on Facebook. It's been ace. You've been a good man. Some hellish stuff you've put on. Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
Not great with compliments. I'm used to the insults. But yeah, I'm just like trying to be real and speaking my truth. Who's that?
What I mean?
Go on, Dom. Peace.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Sure, I can't.
I was muting my mic to see what you were
Very
saying.
good man, sir.
No, I was just saying, a lot of people think you're a shit because you're always in amongst it.
You bang.
But
Go on, head on.
I mean, what's your agenda?
I don't really think I've got an agenda. Just no bullshit. You know, like bullshit is quite an easy one. So, and people say, "Oh yeah, you can point the finger and call bullshit all the time." It's like, yeah, you can. Literally, in the so-called truth movement, 99% of the information out there is bollocks.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Dom.
Yeah.
More of what you hear and half of what you see, and you'll be doing about right.
Well, that's
Bullshit.
why I think being an individual and being your own individual power, rather than being part of any group, then you start getting labelled as say, and then they can start collecting data and seeing how they can engineer you. But the most natural, most powerful thing to be is yourself, going with the flow. But they get you trapped in their patterns rather than the pattern of nature.
I don't agree with you there, Dom.
Go on.
Well, generally, if you look at how things have changed over the years, it's never been one man, is it? It's always been groups of people as such, whatever you want to call them. It's never been one man on its own that's ever changed nothing. If we all stuck as individuals, well, we're all stronger as a unity, and that's always been the case.
Dial.
Cool.
Sorry, I had to laugh. Right, yeah, right. Now you're on about like when you look at a tribe, and there would be like a tribe of people, and that is a group of people. Now, groups are only there for one thing, and that's for easy management and to create your own little divide, whatever it may be. Your group will create that divide, but within that group, the individual things that make that group up are the great things that cannot make that group without that great thing being in it. So you are the greatest thing, rather than relying on any group.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you there. You're always going to be the greatest thing in the universe because you're the centre of your universe. But there's the rest of the world going on around you.
If you don't believe anything at all, you've got the whole universe to back off into. And you know that. The whole universe to back off into. You can go as far out as you like.
What do you mean, like back off into the universe?
You've got the whole universe to back off into if you don't believe in anything. So if you aren't controlled by any of that shit, you can just fucking back off into it. You know, you can.
He's coming at it from an anonymous point of view.
Back off as far as you like and look from that distance, because the universe is huge. It's colossal. It's absolute infinity.
Or it could be really tiny.
Or it could be small. It's where you look. It's all looking at the big picture. We're saying nothing now because we're going to wait for an individual to come up who hasn't had a chance to speak.
You sounded like you was at a police station, and we're saying nothing there.
He did sound like that, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, we've got a sense of humour. Good.
Has anyone got anything to add?
I mean, everybody can be an individual, but at the end of the day, we have to survive together as a coherent group or unity of some sort. Yeah, for the betterment of our kind, our species, whatever fucking way you want to mold it. Yeah, but we definitely need others to support each other and be better. But it depends. It is the actual head. The person who is actually spearhead the group is the one who takes it to the good or to the bad side of it. That's the problem. Yeah.
Do we need to be?
Do we need to be what?
Were you getting trolled there, John?
No.
Alright, good. I've just got in from fucking Newcastle, been spraying, fucking fuck them all. It's all over your cameras and everything, you daft cunts.
Is it making chemtrails?
Yeah, I've been making chemtrails with a fucking big massive spray can. I've been sigil fucking magic in Newcastle.
See it on the quayside.
No, I ended up at the Sage, like other side of the quayside, but I did have a drive along the quayside. There was loads of absolutely amazing rich fanny down there.
So are you in the northeast, are you?
Yeah, man.
Whereabouts? Are you coming to Paula's thing in Durham on Tuesday?
I don't like to show my face because fucking the police don't like me. I've got enough trouble, mate, without showing my face at fucking daft people shouting and bawling with bits of cards in their hand. It's fuck all anyway, does it? It's just like, oh, I'll stand here with a bit of card and shout. It does nothing, mate. You want to just get up and grow some balls and go out and do something. Oh, I'm not being nasty there. I'm not being nasty there, mind.
I think the situation with Paula is
She's been fucking
basically.
led up the garden path by a bunch of bullshitters. That's what's happened there.
Yep. Like, and we're not on about the mortgage company or anything like that. What I've seen from being involved trying to help Paula out was she needed to get. Yeah, she needed to get a lot of support there quickly, but she thought by the glitz and the glamour of the UK column and Guy Taylor and the rest of it, have taken her down the route of, oh, we're going to get you solutions and a lot of help. But what it's given her is a lot of false hope.
I didn't see fucking nobody there, mate. All I saw was security guards, dogs, and fucking wankers.
Yeah, it's like basically, I think she got led down a merry path, a merry dance by the UK column types, telling her all this legal information and the rest of it.
Let's be 100% honest as well, Dom. Like, they wanted that. Whoever wanted that bit of land wanted it bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely happening, and it was all because of. We know a wind turbine's going to go there, don't we?
Oh, we know what's going to happen. It'll be the same thing that's happened right the way through that whole corridor of Durham. There'll just be wind farms pop up all over, and then nobody will get any cheaper electric. It'll just the electric bills will just keep going up and up and up. When they promise that your electric bill will go down, the more towers we can put up, the cheaper your electric will be. Fuck off! My arses are full of shit.
Well, actually, I agree with you, because if you put wind farms, in theory, it should be free.
Correct. Like, that was actually one of the promises. The promises when they're on the actual stuff that they put through people's doors as they're putting them up. The promise is you will get cheaper electric and/or free electric.
Right. What they say, and it's very clever, is what it will do is it will benefit the community to the value of £50,000 for the first year alone. And the community being the type of people that sit there at the community meetings.
Them dodgy fuckers that you went to that meeting.
Yeah. Are you local?
Are you fucking local, mate? It was, wasn't it? Like Royston Vasey, wasn't it?
Yeah, are you local?
Yeah.
Why are you
now?
If anybody's got a question, you should watch your video about that, because it was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know
I know what you're saying, Izzy. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I totally agree. Not all the people who live around this area are like that, and a lot of people are now starting to wake up.
All the coffee.
I'm one of them. Like, at the end of the day, I've been like, I don't know if you're from the northeast or from the Durham area, right? But I've been right in the thick of it since I was a kid, since I was a nipper, right? I've seen fucking multiple fucking corruption by police, masons, fucking nonsense in the Dean jail, fucking people getting let off for murder, people getting bombs put on the fucking cars by the police. You fucking name it, man. It all goes down around here, and it's fucking bullshit, man. It just all needs to end, and I've had enough, mate. I've been out tonight fucking them off, you daft cunt.
Yeah, I'm from the Durham area.
We're from the Durham area.
We are from the Durham area. And what needs to happen is local groups need to be set up.
Right. Can you remember? So if you're from Durham, then you'll be able to remember back in the day the likes of Paddy Conroy and people like that. These are people who aren't taking shit, right? Like Paddy Conroy, fucking. I mean, I'm not trying to big up gangsters or anything, but what I'm trying to say is there was a type of person that used to live in this area that was not taking shit from anyone. Doesn't matter who it was, and we were on the back end of the pits, the back end, like both of my granddads died at an early age, spent most of their life, half of their lives with one arm and one leg through stroke, through coal dust and all that, man. And like now they're putting wind farms up trying to tell us, oh, this is what we need to do now, man. Like, fuck off, man. You're full of shit. You just rip this area apart. I watch me granddads fighting me granddads, me fucking, when I was a kid, like, he couldn't walk down the street without other people, like, walking past other people and calling them scabs. I was like, what the fuck is that all about? I didn't understand it.
I've got an idea then for Simon and the
How many's going?
If you're saying that local meetings need sorting out, sort a local meeting out up in your local area at the end of the month, and I'll come up.
I'll make sure he gets it.
Yeah, well,
we won't see my face.
There was a thing last day. What do we call them? Section 38, whatever they're called. Set up a petition thing. So I went out with that, and I linked up with about 6 people. So I will be setting up a local meeting with those people.
This area, Durham, Bishop, Auckland.
Busy tonight for a change. There was actually some
sorry?
people out. Just drove through Bishop
There
Hill. There
was?
was actually some people out tonight.
Like the fucking.
Well, it doesn't help that they moved the town centre.
It's a fucking, I drive through there now and again, and I think to myself, where's everybody at? You know, if we're overpopulated, where's everybody at?
Exactly.
In Bishop Town,
right.
In Bishop Town Centre, yeah, you would.
Well, that twat who bought the castle and all that and shut everything down, I don't know whether there's a plan there, because the market's completely fucking empty now. There's 2 stalls on Bishop.
I've never seen as many pound
have
shops
120
in my life.
which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's pound shops.
Pound shops and boys. What else do you want?
They're going to do fracking.
But you can have it. But we'll put loads of windmills up though, and you can have your lecky for free, lads. You know what I mean? Fuck off, man. A bunch of raping bastards, man.
Where's the fracking, like, what level's the fracking on in the UK at the minute then? There ain't as much over here as the US, is there?
Chemtrails.
Is there actually any going on?
The chemtrails.
Shush.
The fracking
I've seen the
chemtrails.
chemtrail.
Fracking chem.
Shush.
Cunt.
Shush.
I've never seen
quiet.
geoengineering for a while. You know what I mean? The point I'm making is, right, and I think Dom tries to make this point a lot, but I'm a bit more focused on the point, right? Standing outside of places with bits of card, shouting and bawling does nothing. Get up off your arse, go out in the dark and do something. You know what I mean? Old school.
Totally agree with you, mate.
I'm going to wave a banner outside of the Queen's fucking front doorstep and see if she does anything, man. It's like, oh, she's just stood on the fucking balcony laughing at you, waving at you, man. Go and actually do something. Go out, do something. I don't care what it is. Just do something. Just don't be standing in fucking London or right on the Babylon's doorstep going, oh, look at me, I've got a bit of card, says I don't like you. Oh, wow, what's that going to do? Wow.
The fucking end of it.
The problem there is the police know how to deal with that because they can deal.
Super intelligent.
They can deal with violence. They can't deal with peaceful protesters. Just not breaking the law.
You can't deal with subversion, you know, like when everybody's just doing something and not listening to you and doing it as sly as possible. There's nothing you can do about that. You've just got to, in the end, just go, oh shit, you know, they're up there and there's nothing we can do. That's how you do it.
What sort of thing are you suggesting? Because if you go out and cause criminal damage,
you're getting fucking beaten.
I'm talking about real solutions. Like we're always going about like, oh well, what's the solution? Well, I'll tell you what the solution is, right? I've been right through this whole thing. I've seen it all go down, right? And what you've got to realise is, like, where's your truth at? Your truth is, the only truth you can actually find is what's right in front of you at any moment in time, right? So my truth is this. I'm going to grow my own food. Therefore, by growing as much of my own food as I possibly can, I can't grow it all, granted, right? But I can grow quite a bit of it, right? I can go to local farm shops. I can go to go and collect my own water. All of these little things take money out of their pocket, right? And that's what it's all about. Taking money out of their pockets. If they haven't got that money to control you, then they can't fucking do anything. So if you can fill your belly and be happy without having to fucking go to Tesco's or go to the pictures or watch a film, whatever, if you can just look at a tree and be happy, right, then you're loving life and you've won. That's a solution. That's a real life solution that every single person can implement instead of going through 455,000 pages of Law's Black Dictionary and then learning how to speak a different language altogether and fucking, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but then what are you going to do once you get to your tree?
Then what are you going to do then once you get what?
What are you going to do when you get to your tree? Where is your tree now? It's in the middle of Tesco's car park.
Where's your truth at? Where's your truth at, bottle at? Your truth's been on YouTube, man. You've got to like step out of it. I've been there myself, and I've been sucked into this whole thing before myself, and just thought, you always got in the back of your mind like, surely that's not working. Surely they're not getting away with it. And the fact of the matter is, they're not. The only common law victories you seem to see are just daft little things like speeding fines and shit like that.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm not having a dig at you there. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
No. Revolution, full of shit.
Right, let me
questions to find out that he was full of shit last night, because he still couldn't prove to us how he got off with his case. He couldn't explain it from fucking start to finish how he got off. It's a technicality. Anybody can get off on a technicality, man. You're just lucky when you get off on a technicality.
Right,
I've seen murderers get off on a technicality, man.
I noticed that yesterday. Teacup was going on about he got off his case, but he wasn't happy to tell us all how he did it, though, was he?
Me not to do it. None of them can. I've been in
yeah, but listen, let me say something.
No, well, just stop you there a minute, Butler. I've been in this game since way back, and I've spoke to multiple hundreds of people about this fucking sort of shit, right? And like, the truth of the matter is, nobody gets away with fuck all unless you play the game how it's always been played, as close to the truth as possible.
Right, look, I want to talk about like basically a few of these cases that have like been shown to us over the past few years.
Oh, shush.
You've got the Birkenhead court case. You've got that one with the big Liverpool chap, Lawrence, that basically kept the bailiffs away, and the police told the bailiffs not to evict them. Now, the thing is that Dave Murphy putting up a video on showing the police his notice of intent and his affidavits and all the rest of it, and that they owed him 20 grand. But what these people don't tell you is the other half of the story. They're only telling you a little cherry pick bit of information and making you look like it's a success, when the actual fact of the matter is Dave Murphy lost his car, he got a fine, and he went to prison. So the
rest of the time washing himself in piss.
Right, yeah, he does that as well. But like, this is the thing with the truth movement type people. They'll sell any story, but just sticking on the legal sort of aspect of it, there is a big cash cow to it, because you've got the White Rabbit guys, and they all charge money for seminars and to hear them talk about how the legal system and the monetary system is all backed by nothing but debt, and it's worth nothing. So they ask for your money to learn that the banks are corrupt. And I just think it's more than backwards, upside down, inside out, when the truth movement is actually more full of shit than the bowel movement.
With White Rabbit, you know, I've spoke to Simon Spaniard a few times. He's sweet as a nut. And from what I've seen, obviously I've not been in this movement, you know what I mean, since that interview. But from what I've seen by other people, in regards to White Rabbit, I've seen other people say, oh yeah, Simon, can you come here, and that. You know what I mean? It ain't. I don't really think it's Simon like trying to earn money. You know what I mean? I ain't saying that he ain't, but from what I've seen, it seems like since February whenever it was I got nicked. It's been the seminar. I've not known him to do it many seminars. I've heard talks of it, but it's been people saying, oh yeah, should we all get Simon down here and that. You know what I mean? I don't know about who else is doing it. You know, any others who are doing the banking thing and that. And as well, there's a clawback thing, isn't he? You know what I mean? I think obviously, you know what I mean. He didn't come up with that, but that little thing in itself that has helped a lot of people, isn't it?
He's done well to keep this together.
Like I say, I'm going to log off in a moment, but can I just ask neither a favour?
Hello, mate.
Yeah, all right. Are you around the tune tomorrow?
Me? No.
No. Wait. Get yourself down the Quayside Market one Sunday morning, find the bookstall, and come and talk to me.
Ah, right. I like it. Oh, secret agent stuff, right. Where's that down the Quayside?
Down the Quayside Market on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, right.
Millennium Bridge.
Where near?
Along the Millennium Bridge end.
Right.
I've been in that.
I know what you mean.
I've been in that bookshop, haven't I?
You know where that's done. We've been down there. That's where Jez
been in the
goes.
bookshop. Yeah, you've been in there with me, I think. Did you? No, it might have been Dean.
Oh, I don't know.
There was two of you there, but he didn't seem to have so much of a Geordie accent as neither's got there.
Oh, I'm from the pits, me.
He's from the pit. Well, if he's from the pits, can he good?
Right. Wait, pop down the Quayside sometime and see me. I'm going to log off now. Have a good chat. I will speak to you again.
Nice
good luck as well. Keep it up. Keep thinking free.
Right, we've got Jacob Rothschild has joined us. What do you want to add?
Who's Jacob? How many babies have you eaten today, Jacob?
10-4, we're going down.
Oh, he's gone. Jacob Rothschild has gone.
Well, Jacob didn't want to join in and play.
Oh, well.
He didn't like the baby eating question, did he?
Listen, can I just say about take up?
Go on.
Well, after last night, I spoke to Teacup, yeah, and Teacup is in by no means is claiming any common law, any free man, anything that's come off the internet. He's gone down that road properly, yeah. And what it is, he's at a point with an appeal where he's proper works. He from what he's told me, yeah. Obviously, you're not gonna know if anything's true. You know what I mean? Fucking anything you find out on the internet, but his theory. I mean, Dom, did you hear it all last night?
Like, can I just step in here, right? When we used to get like locked up in that when we were young'uns, and like everybody used to say like, "Are you grassing or is he grassing or is he grassing?" Do you know what we used to say? Where's his depths? Your depths are the in-depth reports from the police. You can get those depths, which are available after the trial or something raj like that, and you can get them. They're all available. They're all public knowledge sort of thing. So if he was so, if he'd won these cases, what I want to see is I want to see some depths. I want to see your depths from the busies where you've had your bit crack with the busies, and you know what I'm on about, don't you, Dom?
Yeah, but he's not saying that he's had any success. He even said last night that he got guilty.
Yeah.
He got found guilty.
But he used something called clean hands.
Yeah. Like, I just think, just in case he's not claiming anything. He's not claiming anything, any free man thing, anything off anyone. He's really towed the line in their world. And I just think, just in case he's telling the truth, he's not coming to me saying, "Oh, let me represent you" or anything. He asked to be my Mackenzie at first, yeah, and I made it clear to him, look, I don't want a Mackenzie because I want to understand the process. I want the words to come out of my mouth to that judge, and that judge have to say to me, "No, that's irrelevant." And then you know what I mean. That's what I want. I know with a Mackenzie, you know what I mean. It's still you who's talking or whatnot, but I feel with my approach if Teacup's story is true, and I think it is, yeah, it's a proper medicinal issue with him. So it's a necessity. It's a necessity, and you know what I mean. If anybody's trying to like make a change, and there's nothing really around them that makes them look bad, you know what I mean. The fact that he's not claiming that he you know what I mean. When you talk to him, he even said last night, he said, "I'm an arrogant cunt," you know what I mean. Whatever. He weren't like he weren't shy to it. And you know what I mean.
No,
he knows that.
No, I'm not being nasty to him by saying it could be possibly bullshit, but it's the internet at the end of the day. And
yeah.
That's how it went down. But I understand also that it's a complicated thing to be able to like reiterate to somebody who's thick like me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and me. You know what I mean? At the end
No,
of
I think Bob, I think you're putting yourself down there, because just to be able to read the books and just take the time out to do that takes a lot of effort, and you have to be able to read for a start. You have to be able to understand what the words say for a start. So there's a lot of effort went in there, mate. You know what I mean?
I know that. I know that, but when you like when I was talking to him last night, and he was explaining the legal system on another level. There is no way in the world that I could get my head around that. And all this done for me, talking to him, has made me think, fuck that for a laugh. And you know what I mean? Like, he said to me he's got 10 years worth of research or whatever, or 10 years. He's been proper studying it for 10 years. I said to him, so what do you know about the law then? This was like in private. He said, I only know what I need to know. He said, like, for anything else, he said, I can't tell you. He said, but if it's to do with cannabis, and the teacup can talk you from the Constitution to the Misuse of Drugs Act up to fucking today, and walk you backwards as well. Yeah. And you know what I mean? He's not trying. I made it clear to him last night. Like, there's no way I could do all that. You know what I mean? Like, fucking. I'm still going to stick with my guns in regards to my case. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody's going to stop it. I don't think. You know what I mean? You could call it cognitive dissonance or what you want, but I don't think nobody's going to stop me in my tracks now, because I want the answers. I want to be in the courtroom and that. Listen, another thing I've got to say is, don't think if I had got away with that, bro, you wouldn't know about me. You wouldn't. I'm telling you now. If the police hadn't got involved, I wouldn't be talking to you now. You know what I mean? I didn't do it. I weren't doing it. You know what I mean?
Soppy bollocks. You must have been watching some of the stuff online.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course so.
You sent an affidavit to the Queen, mate.
You ain't done that, have you?
Yeah, the paperwork I sent.
Don't think that I'm being nasty at all, because I'm not. I'm just being straight. That's
yeah,
the
go
type
on.
of person I am. I'm a real person. So I'm just saying, you sent a fucking letter to the Queen, mate.
Yeah.
Can I be free, please? I don't want to be a slave anymore. I've heard that you're the lead shape-shifting reptilian, and I've got to write to you so you don't eat my baby's blood.
It's mental, isn't it? But then, on the other hand, look at it like this. What information was on there? It said that I was claiming the right to grow weed, and it said, you know what I mean? If that's my paperwork, and there ain't really that mad shit on it, like anything like that, like you're a reptilian or whatever, it's on my paperwork. It's all law. It's all points of law that I can back up, and if they can prove me wrong, then they're welcome to. But you know what I mean? At the points of law I've got now, I know going through the court process now, which I wasn't a criminal before I woke up into all this, which was fundamentally the John Harris video. It was a free man on the land video. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying to you, what information was on that paperwork? If I wanted to, if I had the $5.5 grand, I could have gone and bought a license off the Home Office. I haven't got $5.5 grand though. So if they're claiming something's unlawful, how comes you can buy a fucking license for it anyway?
I know. We know it's Raj, man. We know it's Rajed. It's absolutely like, it's almost mentally ill drugs policy.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Mental, like they try to say to us, oh, you're a mental use. It's like, no, man. Have you heard your drugs policy? Like, look at Portugal. Look at Holland. Look at
Uruguay. Look at that. The president in Uruguay. He's just got rid of all restrictions on it. But even in Uruguay, he's still saying you're only allowed 6 plants and that.
That's what you need. What more do you need?
Yeah. I know. The medical evidence is enough. It ain't about. I don't believe it's about the medical evidence. I don't believe that it's the other stuff the plant does. If you like, just base it on this. If you got a pen there, so write down. You might have come across it anyway. It's called the what's it called? The cannabis biomass energy equation. It's based.
Yeah.
Have we spoke about this? Yeah.
You said about it the other night, and how
If you
ends up how the Rothschilds end up with no money if weed was free or something mad like that.
Yeah. Like that. Obviously, the plan's going to have flaws in that, but it's a start of something. And do you know what I mean? Things could grow from that. That is a threat. That is a major threat to them people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is what you know what I mean. That's what it's about, man. It's nothing to do with cancer. It's nothing to do with people smoking bud. It's the other shit the plant does. The other shit what the plant does, which really you never hear about in the media. You never find a story like $1 billion crop in the media, do you?
Of course you don't. You see, we own everything. We own it all. You see. We like to eat babies, and we like to I don't know, dance with the devil in the moonlight, all of that shit. You know what I mean? They're all fucking mental, mate.
Look, at the end of the day, yeah, as well, they come in and they took what's mine, yeah. Like it's gone then. It's gone, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's gone. So from that point, these people are going to earn money out of me. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I just, you know what I mean? If I could do anything, don't get me wrong, if I could do anything, I would have go back, in that interview, I wouldn't have said a word, do you know what I mean? I've fucked with, you know what I mean? I've got a lot to answer to there. But at the end of the day, if my defence is based on radical honesty, like it is, then how are they gonna dismiss that? At that time, I'm talking to a police lady. I know there's a maxim of law that says if I don't claim my rights, I have done. So she thought, it was in that moment, it was piss or get off the pot. You know what I mean? And she said to me, what was you going to do with it? And you even hear it. I was like, and I thought, fuck it. I'm going to sell it. You know what I mean? And then,
I can understand what you're saying, but
you know what I'm saying? If I've got facts to back up my train of thought, yeah, and they're not doing, the courts are not doing anything. The courts, there's obviously something in. From what the courts are, it's obviously negligence. They're going to try and put me off with negligence or threats of menace, you know what I mean, contempt of court or whatnot. And
of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is where, you know what I mean, I've got to be very, very careful with my defence and that, you know what I mean? But
well, if you just look at Teacup, go back onto what he was saying yesterday, he reckoned he'd done all this stuff in court, but he couldn't answer a few simple questions from a few blokes in the chat room. How would he be able to cope with a few complicated ones from a magistrate or a judge?
But maybe for the purpose of Teacup, he might have purposely just to give us a bit of disinformation, and you know what I mean. I haven't asked him that, but if his story is true and he's ill, man, the geezer's ill, yeah. And I said to him, I said, fucking hell, I said to him last night, he told me all what he'd like gone through. You know what I mean? You heard it all. But when I spoke to him after, I said, you know what I mean? I said, fucking hell, man. Like, the penny dropped, mate. I thought, fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean he's ill?
Well, he's got some, like, when I spoke to him before, he did show me medical things. He had loads of medical documents. I can't remember what they were now. At the time, though, I was thinking, well, this ain't really much else I can get. You know what I mean? I could get all this stuff, like whatever. And but it was just, you know what I mean? At that time, I was getting so much disinformation sent my way. I was just fucking, you know what I mean? It was around that time that I started proper putting my head into books and all that. You know what I mean? So I thought, if there's any chance out of this, it's never, you know what I mean? You've got Halsbury's law quote floating about on the internet, but nobody can tell you the page number it's on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I can't find nobody who knows the page number. And all right, yeah, it's a £10,000 book, but Don, stop me if I'm wrong. Do law libraries exist where they would have that book somewhere?
If you go generally to a good library, then like, you'll find a good law section.
See, but that's what I mean, like stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? I'm confident I can back up, but basically my defence, like with the law I know, but talking to Teacup and that's going to let me know what's going to come my way. When he started going into it, man, I just thought, fuck that, you know what I mean? I want to keep it simple. If they can't explain it to me, if they can't keep it simple, then fine. In the appeal process, you know what I mean? I've got grounds for appeal anyway now, do you know what I mean? Like, just by the way they've treated me, you know what I mean? No disclosure, all of that bollocks, you know what I mean? Not assisting me, you know what I mean? I ain't really looked up all the grounds for appeal yet, but do you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Right. Whoever's just come in the room with porn music playing, it don't help.
Well, listen, I've just got to mute myself for a bit because it's getting late here, man. My mum and dad are going to bed and that. They're going to start moaning, but I'm just going to listen for a bit and then I'll go downstairs and have a chat again, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to drop out anyway, so like, if anybody's got any last words to add.
Yeah, I'm done as well. I'm all done, but yeah, nice
So
one.
you should do this again next Saturday, Don, man.
I was thinking about doing them more regular anyway.
Yeah, man. You should. Everyone should start getting on these ball. This is something that I want to add. So with a couple of weeks ago, yeah, there was all fucking on all alternative media. There was all like right. They're restricting the what's it called? The internet. They're restricting it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be. You know what I'm talking about. I'm shit at wording things, man. But
yeah, they've been saying that for the past 15 years.
Yeah, but they've been
but
also
what I'm
restricting
saying
the
is,
internet for the last 15 years.
What I'm saying is, why have they given us Google Hangouts now then?
To stop you learning computer code and doing it yourself.
Yeah, but we had Skype, didn't we?
Yeah. They've got to give you a little bit extra, haven't they, every time?
Anyway, look, the next time we're all on here, man. Do you know what I mean?
All good.
See you soon.
Good night.
See you all again. Ta-ra.